kneel before me, lay your sword at my feet, pledge me your service,
Oh, God.
and you'll rise again as Inam Pod, Lord of Podcasting.
That's me.
You said there was no Jack and Hagar here.
There isn't. A man is not Jack and Hagar.
Well, who are you then?
No one. And that is who we're going to become.
Podcast Lord. Woo!
So it's your boy Drew,
I did it.
PodDrew, and now it's Pod Inam.
I like
Pledge
pod.
me your
I like-
service.
you know how you're Andrew, right? You took out the A-N.
Yeah.
And you...
I bring it back sometimes for,
yeah.
certain purposes. If I go through my long list of names like Daenerys does,
Well, I'm thinking, since you did that, I should be PodNam.
PodNam?
PodNam?
Lay your sword at my feet, pledge me your services, and you'll
Sorry.
rise again. Yes, lay your phone at my feet, and you'll rise again as PodNam.
Let me.
Look.
There we go.
Yeah, you should be lower than me
Yeah.
if I'm the king here
Okay.
in this scenario.
Yeah.
The king of podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, the king of YouTube videos about Game of Thrones, recapping them. It's episode 2, Inam.
2.
You can go back up. The bit's over.
Okay.
Come back
Hold
up.
on.
Yes. We literally just watched Game of Thrones, season 5, episode 2. It was entitled The House of Black and White.
Black and white. It's like Michael Jackson named this episode.
I'll probably have to put that music in the background here of that. Because it don't matter if you're black and white, and it didn't matter if that guy was black and white, right? That's a point you made when we were watching.
Well,
so I think it got its name.
I think that was kind of good special effects. They actually had a black actor, and then put whiteface all over him, and put long hair and made him grow a couple inches.
So you remember who that guy was? It's not the first time we saw him,
So you're saying that same actor from season 2, maybe?
Season 2.
Wow, that's
the one who gave Arya the coin to begin with.
Yeah. And so he was just fucking with her? He was like, yeah.
Well, no, I guess it was just that black guy, the old black guy, the whole time. Even in season 2, that was the actor, and they just put that makeup on him.
They cast the wrong person for a little while, and then...
Jack and Hagar, a man knows.
He killed people.
Oh, he kills lots of people. Well, he's a faceless man, and it seems so... It started with Arya, I guess. That started the episode. She goes to Bravos. She goes under the Titan of Bravos. What do you think about that Titan, by the way?
The Titan?
Not the first time we saw it. We saw it last season.
Well, that Titan was also spreading his legs a little much, I would say.
Yeah, and he wasn't wearing pants either, by the way.
Yeah, what's up with that?
He's wearing like a kilt kind of. I don't know.
I mean...
Arya, I think, got a nice view looking up, but...
Arya was totally into that view. She was supposed to be looking straight, but she was just like...
Yeah, she's got to sneak a peek. I don't blame her.
Yeah, I mean, it's equal rights, you know?
And there was no nudity really in this
That was the
episode,
closest thing
other
to
than,
nudity.
other than what Arya saw of
Yeah.
the statue.
Yeah.
But so she went to the house. At first, the guy, when he was the black guy still, he wouldn't let her in.
Mm-hmm.
So she chilled outside, and she was saying the name. Oh, by the way, I'm remiss not to grab my Define Door in a Shred like I had last time. I'm back with the Door in a Shred.
Yep.
I tried to get Inam on it, but does he want the Arbor Gold? No, he wants the
classic beer of roots.
Ale. Is that what they're... Well, we'll get to that scene in a little bit, but Pod was
I
after
checked.
some ale, and I wonder if it was a root ale.
I checked. It's not poisonous. It's delicious,
How
though.
did you check, by the way? Because typically you have to have someone else check and see if something happens to them.
Is that...
You can't check if something's poisoned by drinking it yourself.
I mean, yeah, that's how you would check.
Oh, you're right, Inam. Yeah, that's how you... Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's foolproof. Anyway, Arya's out on the steps of the House of Black and White, namesake of the episode, saying the names on her list. Do you know what the names were? Do you remember?
Yeah. It was Huey, Louie, Donald.
So she's just out going, with the coin going, Huey, Louie, Dewey, fucking Donald. Huey, Louie.
Over and over.
Dewey.
Over.
Fucking Donald.
Fucking Donald.
Yep, and then eventually it seems like a whole night passed.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, fuck it, I'm out. She tossed the coin in the lake, in the water. Peaced out. And then later on in the episode we see her.
Well, we do see her, and she is, she's hungry. She's doing it all night.
She's hungry.
She's hungry. She stays hungry. She's the odds are on the prize for her, and her prize is vengeance and murder. That's her prize, right? But when she can't do that, she's got to fuel herself. So you got to get some protein.
And she kind of can get some murder. I mean, I don't know if it's an animal or is it murder, I don't know. But she still gets her kill on.
Well, I mean, she did New York City a good problem. I mean, get rid of a good problem there.
By the way, Bravos is no New York City. One lone pigeon jumping around. This is New York where we are. That would be quite a few more of those
She would have
wouldn't be as impressive, really, probably.
I mean, it would be, because pigeons are pretty smart.
True, she's not that one anymore. She's unscalped it.
Well, that's because that pigeon was raised in the streets of Manhattan. Probably in the valleys of Bravos, or wherever the hell that is. Yeah.
So the guy comes, so some guys come up to her, they want to steal her sword away.
Mm-hmm.
She's ready to scrap as always. She's like, I'll kill you.
Yep.
Then they get scared away, but not by her, by the black dude up behind her. He found her. He's got the coin back, even though she threw it in the water. He somehow has it. And then he really reveals, they're scared, they run away.
Mm-hmm.
And he really reveals himself to be Jack and Hagar, or at least he can put Jack and Hagar's face on. Is that really him from season 2, or is it that guy at the house and he just can put people's faces on and knows that's who she wants to see, so he puts the face on? Because he says a man is not Jack and Hagar, but who knows if it is or not.
So I couldn't pay attention to.
Did you follow what I just said?
No, I understand what you said. The guy was either black or white, either or, and he put on any face.
But is it the guy from season 2, or all these guys at this crazy cult able to put on any face, and they can all put the same face on?
I mean,
it wasn't revealed in this episode.
This is a question that only few people can answer, and the only time I would know someone can put on a face and take off a face is either John Travolta or Nick Cage. So, with that being said, since they're not in the show, last time I checked, I think Arya will find out that the person she's looking for may be someone different altogether. It may just be, they might just be servants. It might be like the wizard behind the curtain, you know?
Okay. So, the wizard behind the curtain is, like, not real. Like, he's using
right,
tricks.
It's all illusion.
You think they're using illusions, too?
Yeah, I think they're real people, but they also have this ability to, they're not the same person that she met. That's what I think it is.
You think it's a different person?
Yeah.
What do you think she's going to get up to, then, at this whole house, since he let her in?
Well, she's obviously going to get a bed. She can get a room, maybe a MacBook.
A girl gets a MacBook?
Yep, MacBook. iPhone. She'll need also some good Wi-Fi in there.
They probably got good Wi-Fi up in there.
I mean, this fucking Bravos, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they should probably only have one channel, Bravo. So you'd be watching the Andy Show.
Well, see, I think they have multiple Bravo channels. Like, we just have
Bravo 1 and 2. Bravo 2.
They probably got all kinds because it's plural.
Okay.
Bravo. So
okay, so it's like real, yeah, real douchebags of Orange County is probably on one of the channels, I would think.
Probably.
Yeah.
Now, we were joking about her names, but I got the real name she's saying on our list here. Cersei, Walder Frey, The Mountain, Meryn Trans. Do you remember who all these people are?
Cersei is...
If you didn't remember what Cersei is.
Duh. It's Sarah Connor.
Right. And / villain from Dread.
Yeah, exactly. And good girl from
300.
300. Yeah.
Both. I think. I didn't see the second one, but probably.
She was in both. She was in both 300.
And she didn't switch in the second one to be a villain. I doubt.
No.
I couldn't say for sure. And then, all right. So Walder Frey.
Walter Frey. Actually,
do you not remember who Walder Frey is?
Is he the person that that Cersei appointed?
No.
Who was that?
Qyburn. But Qyburn is related to the third name on the list, The Mountain. I just remember who that is. We didn't see it in this episode, but if you remember from the end of last season, Qyburn has the Mountain still alive, and he's doing some type of experiments on it.
I mean, obviously she's
or
talking to him as alive.
something.
Yeah.
He's definitely not himself anymore. But
yeah.
Walder Frey, come on, Red Wedding.
Ah, that douche.
The old guy.
Yeah.
What's interesting though is she doesn't seem to realize. So she's heard that she knows Walder Frey betrayed Robb and killed them, but she doesn't seem to know Roose Bolton was involved. Because why wouldn't he be on the list? He's the one who literally killed Robb.
Yeah, he's the one who that probably was the mastermind behind planning, though. Hey, you stand here, you stand here. By the way, when this happens, when this is about to happen, then you come out of nowhere and you go like, ugh.
Boom, the Lannisters send their regards. So I guess she doesn't know about that, or he'd be on the list, I gotta assume. And then the last name, Meryn Trant, who's that?
Meryn Trant.
He was in this episode, by the way.
Meryn Trant.
She made a quick appearance. Maybe you missed it. He had a line or two. Think.
I don't know.
I was in the scene with Cersei and Qyburn. He's that Kingsguard guy.
Oh, yeah.
And this one, when they brought that dwarf's head, he's like, "You trying to deceive your queen?" So that's Meryn Trant. And why does Arya hate him?
Because he killed, or he hurt
That other brute, no. Well, he did, but she doesn't know that. At the first season, when she was with the water dancer, the guy, her sword teacher, and then they came for her, and he killed all the other guards except for Meryn Trant, and then presumably Meryn Trant killed him, although we didn't see him die on screen, but she thinks she killed him. And, by the way, a couple of her names that have been on her list before weren't in this one. I don't know why, but the Red Woman, Beric Dondarrion, and Thoros of Myr, those Brotherhood Without Banners guys from a couple seasons ago.
Yeah.
Last time we heard they were on her list. I don't know why they're off now, but
you know,
maybe they had to cut it out for the episode.
She's getting older. She might be forgetting things. So
she must be, yeah.
And she doesn't have her iPhone and MacBook to keep track of these things.
Oh, so when she gets back in the house,
she'll remember them all. Yeah.
And gets the complimentary iPhone.
Yeah,
she'll look that up.
I wonder if she has to. I wonder if there's like some puzzle or riddle to figure out the Wi-Fi pass, or inside the black and white house or castle. What is it?
The house of black and white.
The house of black and white.
It's like a big square house. It didn't look like a castle.
Well,
I don't think they have castles in Bravos. It's a free city.
Free city?
Free city. It's one of the free cities.
So I can have a house there. So it's like Detroit.
I think it's a little nicer than Detroit. A lot nicer.
Well, I mean, Detroit's pretty free. They'll give you a house if you want one.
They do eat pigeons, I guess, off the street there, but that might be a little end of the
Shout out to the Motor City.
And they do eat pigeon pie in the capital.
I remember that. That was that woman that I've never seen before.
So let's get into Cersei, because we mentioned Meryn Trant and Qyburn with Cersei. Well, first, Cersei gets a little message from Dorne, where her dear daughter is betrothed to the Prince of Dorne.
What did the daughter say?
The daughter didn't say nothing, but her necklace was there. Oh. Cersei said it's the only one in the world, and it's attached to a snake's head.
A red viper?
No, I guess a red viper, probably, yeah. Mm-hmm. And Jaime's like, it's a threat. She's like, no, duh, dummy. Of course it's a threat. What are we going to do about it?
Yeah, what
She's screaming about how it's their daughter. He's like, keep it down, even though everyone technically knows that. We can't admit it.
Well, I mean,
Tommen's not going to be the king.
Well, I was thinking the reason why Jaime wanted to keep it down was there was a window next to where they were standing, so I was thinking maybe Brandon Stark hasn't showed up. Brandon Stark hasn't showed up in a while.
He loves to just pop up in those windows, so yeah.
Just pop in the window.
Not again! Jaime still has one hand, raising Brand. You gotta watch out. One hand is enough for a little guy like you. Oh, Brand's getting pretty big now. Maybe it's
almost instinct for him to make sure that he just push it no matter what.
I mean, he could even use his gold hand to do it. He might lose it on the way down, but... So Jaime's like, you know what, I'm going to be a man with a plan.
Yeah. Action plan.
And last time Cersei was like, in the last episode, she's like, you always get a plan, you don't think it through, and there's consequences. I don't know if he thought this one through either. We don't know exactly what his plan is.
Yeah.
But in Val's going down to Dorne to get Marcella, no army, it's not an active war, he's going to kidnap her, it seems like. And he's getting his mate, he's a one-handed man, he can't do much. He needs a right-hand man, who is?
Who is now a Sir, and has no castle, has a wife.
Ron of the Blackwater. I mean, not a wife yet, he has a fiance.
She has a bonce.
Who we met, she was talking pigeon pie. She didn't seem like the brightest of bulbs around the old Christmas tree.
Yeah.
She's talking about how they're going to get married and all that. Harps, flutes. And then who shows up but Jamie?
Jamie didn't show up. Jamie was sitting down.
He posted up.
He was like, he was on the stoop. He was on the stoop.
He was chilling on the stoop.
Chilling on the stoop, waiting for his boy to run through.
And he's like,
it was up.
What's up, man? He's making small talk. Brown's like, get it over with.
He's like, yo, I don't have time
I know
for
you
this.
ain't here to hang out.
Yeah. I mean, if they were here to hang out, you know what? I think Jamie would have done it completely differently.
Mm-hmm.
He would have been like, hey, Sir Bron, was it Sir Bron or Bron? Sir Bron or Bron?
Sir Bron.
Sir Bron, paper towel. Yeah, Sir Bron, paper towel. Bronny. Right?
Oh, Sir Bronny.
Sir Bronny, paper towel. He's like, yo, Sir Bronny, what's going on? Do you want to go kick it back at the pub with me real quick?
That's what he would say if he was just going to chill. But
Yeah.
he wasn't.
He was not.
He's like, your marriage is off.
Yep. He's like,
Brown's
yo.
Oh, thanks, man.
And then you know what Sir Bronny said after? He's like, you know what? I'm good. I'm chill. I'm good. I got this. I might not have this castle yet, but I'll kill the sister.
There's a little sister in the way.
Yeah, I'll kill the sister.
knock
Get her out. And then Jamie's like,
why didn't Cersei? By the way, and sorry to cut you off, but why didn't Cersei? She made this deal for Bron last season. Why didn't she marry him to the top sister? She tried to lowball him. Jamie's right. She lowballed him.
You should never trust a Lannister.
No.
But they are, a Lannister will always pay their debt. So even though Cersei promised him, another Lannister is going to actually finish the fucking
He's
debt.
going to pay the debt. He's like, if you bounce down to Dorne with me, I mean, we can assume that's what he's going to have him do, even though it wasn't completely spelled out. It basically was.
I think Jamie's going to ride him, literally. And he's going to piggyback all the way.
So what do you think they're going to do down in Dorne? How are they going to get Marcella back?
Well, I mean, good thing about Jamie, even though he has lost he's one-handed now. He's one-handed, right? His charm's still there. He was still able to kiss Ron's fiance and be like,
she was feeling it.
She was feeling it. She was feeling it. She was like, oh man, I found the wrong guy. I better switch it up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what will happen is Jamie Lannister, even though a lot of people are angry with the Lannisters and the way the Red Viper died, especially
which we find out in the next scene here. So we go down to Dorne.
Yeah.
And who shows up again?
Some guy who looks like Michael Clark Duncan.
No, who shows up that we've seen before? Is what I meant. So we pop on. Marcella's there with presumably that prince.
Yep.
They're not really talking. They're down in the garden.
Yep.
Who's up top going in to mix it up with the Axeman, Michael Clark Duncan man?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the girl from
It's the
last
girl.
season.
The one that said, "Don't leave me in this world."
And Oberyn done did it. He's like, today's not when I'm going to die. He died about 10 minutes later.
Yeah. No.
She's still alive. Her name's Ilaria Sand. She's a bastard.
She's a bastard?
No. It was his paramour. She goes to see his brother.
Yep.
Did you catch what the brother's name is?
No, but the brother looked familiar from a lot of shows.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of shows. His actor's name is something.
Yeah.
But he plays Prince Doran, who's the oldest of the family.
So he's the real prince.
So you know his two siblings were that are both dead now. Oberyn is his younger brother, and his younger sister was named Elia, and she was Rhaegar Targaryen's wife. And then the Mountain done smashed her in, and the kids in.
Fucking Mountain's
So,
crazy like that.
Ilaria was like, how many of your brothers and sisters do they have to kill before you get the message? What does she want? She wants war.
She wants war. What is it good for, though?
Doran's like, absolutely nothing.
No.
Say it again.
He's like, war.
It's like it was a trial by combat. It wasn't murder.
No.
What do you think he's thinking here? Is he just being a pussy, or is he just
a
cautious man? Or does he have a plan? What's going on?
I think he had that Morpheus kind of attitude to it, where he's sitting in a chair, just chilling. You know?
No, he was in a wheel. That was like I guess you couldn't tell from this. That was a wheelchair though. Like
Oh, he's handicapped?
he has gout.
Oh, he's got gout.
Oberyn mentioned it last season. That's why he didn't go to the wedding. Oberyn said.
Terrible gout.
They didn't mention it in this episode, but that's like, I don't think he can walk very well because he has the gout. Which normally, I thought that's like a fat man's disease. Well, they call it a rich man's disease because a lot of rich food, that's how you get it. But figured he'd have a little more weight on him to have gout. But he looked like
I think John Lovitz has gout too.
Probably, but he's got weight on him, not this guy. Well, anyway, where do you see this going? It's a quick scene, but
I think it's going to come down... I mean, nothing's going to happen until Jamie comes by and
gets down there.
says, "What's up? How's it going? Just want to check out my daughter."
I mean, my niece, not my daughter.
Oh.
I didn't bone Cersei and create this girl.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright, well, now it should be interesting to see what happens. She gets that dwarf's head that we mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, it's not him.
Mm-hmm.
Pop on down with it. She's got her boy Qyburn. Well, I'm kind of dressed like Qyburn was in this episode right now in my black here.
Yep.
He's got some fine looking black robes.
Mm-hmm.
He's joining the small council as the Master of Whisperers. Who was he replacing then?
It was, what's his face? The one that's not... Wait, no. Replacing them in terms of judges, or what?
No, on the small council. He's now the Master of Whisperers. Who was it before?
Oh, it was a Grand Maester, right?
No.
Oh.
Mr. Pycelle's still there.
Okay.
Ferris. Spider.
Ferris.
That was his old job.
Oh, I forgot Ferris was part of the council.
Yeah.
Ah.
The council is a little small now in the terms of the mental power. I mean, I think Qyburn's a smart guy, but the mental power is a little bit lacking. I mean, the small council used to be like Littlefinger, Barristan.
It used to be a lot of people.
Varys, like a lot of good people. Now it's Qyburn, Pycelle still, who Cersei clearly fucking hates.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just rubbing it in with Qyburn. And then old Mace Tyrell, who's a fool, basically. He got another promotion, too. She made him Master of Coin as well.
What is that?
Like, whoa. Yeah, that's what Littlefinger's job used to be.
Okay.
Master of Coin. And Tyrion was for a while, too, after he left in hand. And then she had her Uncle Kevin.
Uncle Kevin.
What did Uncle Kevin have to... She tried to give him a promotion to Master of War.
Uncle Kevin's like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this king's mom here.
Yeah. Oh, because she said... He's like, are you the hand now? And she's like, no, Tommen will appoint a hand when he's old enough. I'm just going to act for him for now.
Yeah.
He wants me to.
She's running a lot.
She's basically like, Tommen said this and that.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say shit.
Yeah, he didn't say shit.
No way.
Didn't say shit.
Kevin saw through that one. He's like, if the king
Uncle
wants
Kev
me,
was like,
the king can get me.
Listen, I'm from the Rock, Castle Rock, and I'm going to go back there. But if the king wants me, holler.
And he's like, I see what you're doing. You're just putting a bunch of sycophants around you.
Yep.
How do you think Cersei's going to handle this, or how do you think she's taking this?
Well,
Does Uncle Kevin have to be wary?
The thing is about Cersei, there's one thing, if she's not, she's consistent. Her face, her resting bitch face, is consistent.
It stays resting.
It stays resting. It's always
never
consistent.
wakes up.
It never wakes up. Whether she's happy, whether she's making love, it's the same face every single time. It must take a lot of hard work to practice that resting bitch face forever. Like that. It's a good job by the actress, that's for sure.
Well, before the dwarf scene, we had the imp himself, and he's with Varys in a box, another box, this little bit bigger box. They're both in it this time. It's like a fancy box on the road.
It's like those little dolls that you put like a doll inside of a doll inside of a doll.
Yeah. The boxes are like that, you're saying?
Yeah, I mean the boxes.
Russian nesting doll.
Yeah, there you go.
Not to be confused with Cersei resting face.
Cersei resting. Yeah.
So what did they have? What was their conversation all about?
Well, their convo was like talking about like living back, reflecting on the memories of the past a little bit. You know how they're traveling, like where are we going? He's like, what am I doing here? Like I just want to just get out of this fucking box. Yeah. I'm feeling claustrophobic. I know I'm tiny, but I'm feeling claustrophobic.
But he says Cersei's gonna offer the lordship to anyone who kills you. That's why those other guys brought that dwarf's head in.
They're trying to get some lordship.
Yeah. And here's a good quote I wrote down. Varys says...
I'll be the judge of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can be the judge.
Yeah.
Is it going to be a fair trial, or is it going to be a Marine situation? Yeah.
It might be a Marine situation.
Okay. Well, I'm confident this is a good quote.
Okay.
Varys says, are we really going to spend the entire trip talking about the futility of everything? Tyrion says, you're right. No point. It's a little good bon mot.
He's a joker, that guy.
Going to Volantis, which is another city, a slave city. And that'll somehow get them to Marine. We'll have to continue on and see. And they just talked about the nature of power. No one's ever really going to follow them because they're an imp and a eunuch, but they still like having the power.
They are comedy relief, and they're also the people that you want on your side just because they make you feel better. They're
Now, speaking of comedy relief, my main number one man, Pod Payne, distant relation of myself, PodDrew. Pod Payne and Brienne, they're at a little tavern, right?
Yep.
Who do they see to their wondering eyes as appear?
They see a really fine waitress.
Pod does. He's looking. He's checking.
He's up and down.
I'll get some of that ale, and I'll get something else later. But he doesn't get to stick around and lay the pipe to this waitress because who?
Wait, he was gonna beat her up?
No, he was gonna bum down. Who did they come across?
Oh, it was a brunette-headed Sansa fucking Stark.
Sansa Stark. And who is she with, of course?
Not big, but little finger.
The little finger. Brienne's not one for caution. She busts right in on the scene.
Not stealth.
Like Sansa.
She's not stealth.
Their mom told me to get ya. Come on with me.
Come on with it, man.
Not with this joker.
Ride this train.
Littlefinger's like, which I didn't really think about, but technically they're kind of related because he is like kind of her uncle now since he married Liza and then pushed her out.
Yeah.
She won't go with Brienne.
Nope.
Even before she's making her own decisions, before that she's like, yeah, let me get some ale. And Littlefinger's like, oh, you're getting smart, all this? And she's like, nah, you didn't protect my mom. You didn't protect Renly Baratheon. Oh, a shadow killed him? That's what's
word.
hot in the
Shadow.
States? A shadow with the face of Stannis?
Yeah.
Which we know is true, but it's not that believable if you weren't there.
Yeah.
She won't go with him. Littlefinger tries to get her to stay, probably for no good reason.
Why would Littlefinger want Brianna to stay?
He wants to get rid of her, I'm sure, knowing the finger. But she busts through those guys. She says, "Pod the horses." They run. She tries to free some of the horses. She evades them easily. Podrick's not so lucky because he's a bumbling, bad horse rider.
There was I think one of those Charlie Chaplin sound bites were being played while he was riding the horse there.
Yeah.
Like
a little dictator or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And he popped on off the horse into the drink.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's about to get killed, so a guy's he throws a rock at the guy, which the guy is, of course,
well, it's not.
I guess you're not armed, of course, so I'm going to run you down.
Right.
Pod's like, oh.
And do you remember that rock and where it's from?
I didn't.
Season 3, episode 3.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was like from Casterly Rock. That's like the rock.
No.
That's not Uncle Kevin's rock.
It was one of the rocks that was kicked by Joffrey. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. It's good. See, you watch the show every episode and you miss these little things.
I know.
They're just throwing in Easter eggs.
I mean, that rock traveled very far and did a really good job in that performance. I think
Rock was a good actor.
Yeah.
But Brienne comes in, saves him, kills the one guy. Another guy comes, puts his sword up. Her Valyrian steel sword slices right through it into the guy. Stab. He dead.
He is dead.
So Brienne had the moves in this episode, as she normally does.
Yeah.
And it was good stuff.
She's got, her hips don't lie.
No.
They don't.
And are they giving up on their quest?
Nope. Well, Brienne's not a fan of giving up. She's pretty stubborn.
Even though she usually fails, she just gets back on the horse.
Think
and makes
about
Pod do it too.
The thing is, she doesn't really fail. Fails.
Maybe it's not always her fault, but she doesn't have a good success rate, as Littlefinger pointed out.
Well, she's 0 for, 2?
0 for 2 on saving the people she's supposed to protect.
Yeah.
She's now 0 for 2 on getting the Stark girls to come with her.
2 Stark girls. So I think...
So she's been pretty low.
Yeah. I think her best chance to get a Stark girl
cages.
is if someone else, either Raisin Bran Stark or the other brother Stark, has a kid and it ends up being a girl, then she can grab that one and protect that one. That's about it.
Now, maybe Reconnaissance Stark can have himself a daughter. I don't think Raisin Bran can have kids
because
given his condition.
Unless
he uses some magic or something.
Yeah, was the guy fixing the mountain, right? I'm sure he could pull out some stuff.
Qyburn gets hold of him.
Yeah, literally get a hold of him.
Okay.
Squeeze out some magic juice from Raisin Bran Stark.
Alright.
Yeah,
maybe it'll happen. So what else in this episode? Is there anything else but the Marine Qyburn? Oh, there is. Okay, of course, there's a big thing. Yeah. Well, let's get Marine out of the way first.
Yeah.
So this Grey Worm and Dario are doing a little street patrol, and Dario has like the intel. He's talking mad shit about the Unsullied. Like, you guys don't know what's up. You're not like real men in the streets getting intel.
Yeah.
And they go in a house, it's empty. Grey Worm's like, no one's here. He's like, Grey Worm, you dummy.
You dummy.
Wall stab.
Boom.
Out comes the son of the
Crotch
harpy.
punch.
Was it the crotch? I thought it was the leg, but that
I think he was aiming for the crotch.
He's making him unsolid.
Yeah.
So they go to Dany's small council, which is a little better than Cersei's, but still not great.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Dany's small council.
They need that Varys and Tyrion to show up, but this one guy is like a new character, kind of. Although I guess I realized in this episode that he wasn't last season. When Grey Worm comes into Marine the first time, and he's talking to the slaves. This guy was one of them. I think I wrote down his name is Mosador. So Mosador is like, he's a former Marine slave, and he's saying, we gotta execute this guy.
Yep.
We can't have Barristan wants a fair trial, but he's like, we can't have that. All these slavers know is blood, not mercy or whatever.
Right.
Or trials. And then another guy who's a former master is like, on her council, is like trying to argue, whatever. She kicks him out, but Barristan's like, I need a word with you. It's about your pops.
Hey, hold back for a second. We'll talk about your pops.
What did he have to say about
And he was like,
proud pops?
Mad King.
She's, Mad King, don't spread the usurper's lies, my enemy's lies. He's like,
No. He's straight mad.
No.
He's straight Cray. I mean, that's what he should have said. Cray King. Because that would sound better.
The Cray King?
Cray King.
Let's call him that from now on.
Yeah.
So Cray King,
Yep.
he was burning people alive. He was laughing while he was doing it. He thought he was doing the right thing, and it led to a rebellion, and you and your brother were the only survivors of Targaryen.
Crazy. It was like,
but I'm not my father.
It's like they were Kal-El from Krypton. You know, sent in this little pod.
Is that Superman?
Yeah, Superman.
Okay.
Superman.
Is that like Kal-El?
Yeah, I mean, like, everyone's dying.
Cray King is like Kal-El?
Well, no, Cray King is like Kal-El's evil father.
Oh, he had an evil father. Is Kal-El Superman himself, or is it Superman's father?
I think Daenerys is Superman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Superman had problems then, because what happens later, that Mosador goes down and just kills this motherfucker anyway. No fair trial for this guy.
Hey, man.
Kills him and says, kill the masters on a sign.
But, like,
now he's in trouble.
But, like, what was up with that? Like, how is he just able to walk down there and it's like, hey, bitch.
Well, he was in a position of power. He was on her council, so...
He abused that power. Huh?
He did, and what happens, he tries to say it was for her, because she couldn't do it, and he's like, I was the first one to pledge my sword. That's when I noticed that he was in the last season, because there was a guy who was, when Grey Worm was talking, he was like, yeah, let's do it, and get him on their side. But now he's on trial.
Yep.
Although he admitted to doing it, so it's not really a trial.
I mean, it was...
He gets the sentence, which is death.
He was basically Anthony Hernandez. He killed him for right in cold blood right there. You know?
Yeah, so, Aaron Hernandez.
I always say Anthony.
Yeah. Well, Aaron Hernandez did not get the death penalty, though. He just got life. Now, this Mosador, he got the death penalty. There's the former slavers on one side, there was all the former slaves on one side, they're going back and forth. Dany's
not a happy matrimony right there.
She gives the order, they want mercy from their Misa, they don't get it. Dario knocks his head off, and they start...
Super Dario.
Super Dario, yeah. He knocks the mushroom off. Kill.
Yeah.
Do. We're pissed. All the slaves are really pissed. Former freedmen. They're hissing at her. So I guess it's like a boo hiss, but just the hiss part, it seems like...
Hiss is underrated, I would say...
You should bring it back in today's society.
I think maybe when we go to the Nets game, next time we'll go...
We'll just hiss at Al Horford and Jeff Teague and all that.
I mean, rightfully so.
Okay,
yeah.
I like it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And then it goes beyond that. They start throwing rocks, and the two factions are fighting. All the Unsullied have to put their shields up and protect her, and it's a whole fucking mess.
They did a 300 shield where they just put it all together. You know, like it's like you can't catch us here. We're covering up right like this.
Yep. And what do you think is gonna happen now with Dany? Like she's just getting in pickle after pickle.
Well,
in Yrene.
She does. Her council is like
it's one man down now.
Yeah, one man down. She needs to put a job opening on Craigslist.
And was Barristan? So Barristan was. It was right to tell her that they didn't lie about her father, that he was crazy. Like that's good, but at the same time,
that'll help her.
Barristan keeps counseling mercy and all these things, but is that even going to work in this city? Maybe that guy was right. they don't understand that here. It's not Westeros.
Yeah.
Which is not much mercy. Doesn't seem like Westeros either, but a little different. At least
I mean, there's different things for how they predict or, I guess, determine how people die in certain places. And I feel like where they are, where in not Bravos, where are they?
They're
Marine. Santa Marine. That is like the Wild Wild West out there. You know? It's like a lot of...
Well, kind of, but I mean, it's a slavery institution for years. And then Danny ended that.
But right now it's a Wild Wild West.
Well, now it's like...
It's chaos.
Yeah.
There's no order. There's justice, but not everyone understands what that justice is. Maybe she has to shut up, let other people who are smarter do their job, like, I don't know, Spider?
So you think when the Spider shows up, she should just let him rule?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's getting paid the big bucks to be at the seat where she's at right now.
Mm-hmm.
But she's got a bigger problem, literally. And what is that bigger problem?
Oh, talking about what showed up at the end episode?
Mm-hmm.
She got three big problems. Two of them are locked away mad.
A bitch ain't one, though.
Drogon ain't one.
Yeah.
Don't call him a bitch. He'll come and barbecue you right quick.
Man.
Don't get cute over here. I don't want to get in the line of fire.
I mean, if I get cute around a dragon...
Yeah, it's not going to go well for it.
That
that little girl was probably cute. She got AIDS. So, yeah, it was dark. Danny is dejected. She goes to the top of her pyramid.
Yeah.
And Drogon shows up. She's like petting him a little bit, and then he's like acting way nicer to her than the kid she locked up, which makes sense, I guess, because he's off doing his thing. But he still pieces off and flies away again.
It's crazy. I mean, you never know when let's say 2-ton, 3-ton dragon, maybe.
I wouldn't be able to say. It's getting big.
Yeah.
He's even bigger than another two.
Yeah, and it's not Spyro, like a little tiny dragon at all.
It's not purple.
I mean,
It's in no PlayStation, you know.
It looks kind of purple, blackish.
It's black. It's black. It's not black or white. It doesn't matter if you're black and white. It's a black.
Well, I'm
dragon.
either.
I'm just talking about we mentioned it before, the House of Black and White.
Oh,
but Drogon and Danny is very white skinned. So is that the black and white? Another parallel.
Maybe. Ooh, parallel.
You know what else is black and white?
What's that?
Jon Snow's white. He wears black. Let's go talk about him. Well, okay, first, let's talk about Sam, Gilly, Shireen Baratheon. They're in the library, kicking it.
They're reading some books.
Sam is Shireen's teaching Gilly how to read.
Gilly.
She knows ass. Sam's like looking up facts about Lord Commanders for some reason. He's like, this guy got elected when he was 10.
Because
Ostrich Stark.
Because he's smart. He knows how to read and he knows how to actually understand history. You don't know where you're going without knowing where you've been.
Mm-hmm. And then one of my least favorite characters pops in.
Who's that?
It's Shireen's mom, Stannis' wife.
The pyromaniac.
Bitch, though. I mean, really, is a bitch of the nth degree.
I mean, the only
she
thing...
hates her daughter, which is terrible, because that daughter's cool.
Daughter's super cool.
We should mention, well, anyway, she's like, don't hang out with the wildling, blah, blah, blah. They'll get back at you with their father, or whatever. But there's something they talked about before she showed up, which is the face, and Gilly was talking about her sister's had it, which is that disease, grayscale. Now, it seems to me like they're bringing it up purposely because it's going to be a bigger part of the plot line, this like grayscale disease. What's going on here with this thing? I mean, Shireen got cured somehow, but the other sisters and other people aren't so lucky.
Well, they hurt him at night. That's what I heard. So what does that mean?
They're like acting like animals. It seems like it's a disease that turns you into like a stony like animal. I don't know. But it got cut off into what happened to them because the mom came in.
Mom's always ruining stuff.
God, Mom.
Get out of the room, Mom.
So, pop over to her husband, Stannis. He's with his boy Onion Knight.
Yeah.
They're talking to Johnny.
The figureless one.
Why'd you give Mansfield
Johnny boy,
mercy?
Johnny boy. I mean, we were cool. I brought you in. And
This how you do me?
And then this is how you do me? Come on,
But Stannis is like, I'm being practical here. I need you for the North.
Yeah.
I got this letter back. I try to get Mormont. So Mormont is the old commander. Stannis sent word to his peoples on Bear Island. That's where they're from.
Bear.
Pledge your sword to me.
Yep.
And this 10-year-old girl is like, kick rocks, Stannis. I pledge my sword to Stark alone. So Stannis is like, I need get my hands on one of these motherfucking Starks, but I don't got none. The only one that we know is living is Sansa, and she's nowhere to be found for him.
Yeah.
Let me get Johnny Boy, and that's what our opening was. He was like, you could be Jon Stark. It's what you want.
For the New York Knicks, number 3, Jon Starks. Dunk on him.
But no dunking happening because we didn't tell Stannis no yet, but transitions to Night's Watch, and he tells Sam, I'm not taking the deal. But luckily for Jon, he's about to get another promotion as we find out.
Yep.
What happens.
He gets to hang out with Samwise Gamgee.
Well, no, Samwise Gamgee didn't show up.
Oh, damn it. I was confused though.
He's hanging out with his boy Frodo.
Frodo.
They're having the Lord Commander they need a new one, obviously.
Yeah.
Alistair Thorne was stepping in, and Sir Alistair was like a temporary one, but he wants to be the real one. He's running against some other old guy we've never seen before.
Some random dude.
From he was the commander of one of the other towers, the Night's Watch. So there's 3 towers open. Castle Black where they are, Shadow Tower where that old guy was commanding, and Eastwatch by the Sea. But he wants the big job now. But he won't get it either, because Sam pipes up and he's like, let's nominate my main man, Jon Snow, because he's the man. He did all that stuff. Sam listed all that stuff. He started talking shit about Janis Slynt, which was pretty funny. He said Janis was a coward, hiding with the wildling in the pantry.
Yeah.
He was doing japes. Maester Aemon was cracking up. Everyone was cracking up.
Yeah, everyone's rolling.
And then they're rolling in the aisles. And then it worked. They elected Jon, and there's one last vote needed. It was a tie. Maester Aemon said, let's go, Johnny. Jon's a new Lord Commander. What does this mean? What's going to happen?
He's going to get superpowers.
So he's not going to take the Stark job, clearly.
No. Why would he? Honestly, he could.
I mean, well,
could he?
If it was me, I would prefer that job. But
theoretically, could he do both?
No.
Why?
Because when you're in the Night's Watch, you cannot hold any lands or titles, have kids, all stuff that lords need to have.
So he's going to become a lord now.
He's Lord Commander, but he's a lord of the Night's Watch. That's it.
Okay.
Stannis is out of luck again. I feel bad for my man Stannis here. Can't catch a break.
He's
Mance Rayder won't bend the knee. Johnny Stark won't. Snow won't become Stark.
No one wants to bend a knee in front of him.
No one wants to bend. What's wrong? I know the ground's cold over there at the wall, but come on, people.
I'll
bend the knee.
Maybe he'll find the perfect White Walker to bend the knee for him.
Well, knowing his luck, he probably won't even get that. And he's married to that bitch that I hate. At least he has a cool daughter, and he has his man, Onion Knight. Well, that was the episode. I liked it. I thought it was even better than the first episode of the season.
It was definitely a lot better.
High marks for me.
I mean,
cool action that I love that Brienne kill shot through the sword stab.
We also don't know from the first episode. This was never asked. Figured out human cockfighting.
Fighting pits. They didn't mention it in this one.
You just break out a storyline like that. The worst storyline of the episode of the season so far
is Dany and Marine.
Yeah. And then they just move on from it.
Well, here's what I think though. They're gonna have to. I think they set that up because at the end of this episode, she's even worse trouble. Both sides want to fight each other. She's gonna need to open these fighting pits up and have the gladiator fights to get people to chill out and relax and it's like a sporting event. If there was no sports for us to go to on the streets, we'd all be fighting each other. We need to see people fight. We need to be entertained.
We know that.
Are we not entertained? We're not right now in Marine. We have no fighting pits. Open,
Russell Crowe is not entertained either.
No one is.
No one is.
Drogon's the only one entertained because he can fly and do his own shit.
Well, speaking of Drogon, I was really excited that Benedict Cumberbatch was going to show up.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be the voice of, but he didn't say much.
He didn't say much. He just looked like.
And yeah, he didn't have gold or anything. Yeah.
And then he flew away.
Yeah, that was a good impression.
Yeah, that was
This will play well on the audio version of this. Alright, now closing sentiment for this week.
Well, Sansa didn't get a lot of lines this episode. We don't know where the king is. He's probably just in his room chilling. We haven't seen
King Tommen.
We haven't seen Marjorie in a little bit.
Maybe they're together in the room.
Doing what?
What could they do? Who knows?
And
she did call Marjorie wasn't mentioned. Cersei called her a smirking whore or something like that.
Smirking whore
from Highgarden. I believe she said it to Jaime.
And I did like the fact that we finally got to see where the Red Viper is from and where Lannister's daughter. Like it kind of expanded my imagination a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
I don't
saw
know.
Dorne. That was cool.
Yeah, Dorne was cool.
And I was happy we checked in with my man, Sir Bronny.
Sir Bronny Papertop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think my sentiment closing is just Jon Snow this season. So far, 2 episodes in, I'm liking Jon Snow way better than I ever used to.
You really
He's
hated
taking
him
care of
before.
business. I just thought I didn't like him that much before. I'm liking him now. I do want him to get on better terms with Stannis here, because I feel bad no one's kneeling to Stannis. Even though he saved all these guys. Come on.
Yeah.
So that's going to be it. We'll be back next week. Inam Q, now PodDrew over here.
Yeah.
And we'll be back next week for an episode which is going to be entitled Season 5, Episode 3, High Sparrow.
Drew Noun Productions. And so,
Pod Productions.
wrapped.
Para Magunas.
A man is not Jack